Hey everybody, this is Justin with Sillage Scents. Today I've got a video for you about fragrances that feature leather. This is a note that I've come to really appreciate more than ever this cold season. And really before, it never really appealed to me so much as it has now. So all of these are ones that I like because they're not as strong as something like a Tuscan leather or ombre leather, although one of them is in that category. All of these are designers that feature leather in a way that really accents the fragrance, in some senses dominate the fragrance, but still is a part of a whole package rather than just a purely leather-focused scent. So the first one I've got, this is our Moth Odyssey Homme, and this one is actually a clone of I've heard it compared to kind of a blend of Dior Homme Intense, Valentino, Uomo EDP, and Givenchy Gentleman EDP. And I've tried versions of all of those iris-centered fragrances, and I can see where this has elements of all three of those different houses' approach to iris, sweet iris-based fragrances. And so this one, what you get is something that is almost gourmand in that you've got a chocolatey, soft leather iris fragrance. And you do get sort of this, I picture it as like a soft tan leather that's definitely chocolatey. That's one of the standouts about this fragrance. And of course, you've got the iris front and center. This is an awesome fragrance for what you can get it for, between $25 and $30. And I think leather is done well, but it's pretty subtle. Out of all these, probably the most subtle. So again, that's our Moth Odyssey Homme. It's a clone of the top tier designer iris fragrances. Let's see, let's go with this one next. This one is actually discontinued, but you can still get it all over. The 100 ml bottles are going for pretty expensive, but you can get right now, this is a 0.7 ounce, so a little less than an ounce of John Varvatos Dark Rebel Rider. Or sorry, this is Dark Rebel, not Rider. I'm going to get Rider because it's got even more leather. But this one, dark leather, you can get the 0.7 ounce travel size all over eBay right now for around $20 or less. And this one does have leather. It's got kind of a smoky tobacco. It's got castoreum, which is an animalic note. It's got a burnt sugar accord. It's a very mysterious fragrance. The leather you can pick out, the sweetness from the sugar you can pick out. You can get sort of a smoky fragrance as well, and that animalic note is kind of sitting at the base, really shining through, but it's not off-putting. It's just mysterious. I've heard it said that this is something that like a pirate would wear, and I get that. And so this John Varvatos Dark Rebel, you've also got Dark Rebel Rider, which is still very reasonably priced, and this one's pretty cool, and you can get the travel size right now for pretty cheap. This next one is also a new pickup, and this one, it's supposed to be a clone of Stronger With You leather. I don't have Stronger With You leather, but I could definitely see how if you take the original Stronger With You DNA and put in a leather note and adjust the spices, it could be exactly that. I'm talking about this Ard Al Za'afaran Oud 24 Hours Majestic Gold. And so this one reminds me a lot of the next fragrance that I'm going to show you. What it is a kind of dusty vanilla in the base with some spices. You've got some cardamom in here. You've got something that is kind of gourmand leaning, like a nutty note, and then you've got leather. It's kind of a sweet, smooth leather in the way that it works with the spicy qualities as well as that dusty vanilla in the base. This is a great fragrance. The only problem I have with it is performance. Like the John Varvatos I just showed, the performance on that one is terrible. I wish it was better. This one is about a 6-hour fragrance. It's not overpowering as far as projection and sillage goes, but if you spray yourself 10 or 12 times, you know, for $25, you can get 100 ml of a great leather-focused fragrance. I really, really like it, especially because it reminds me a lot of this next one. It reminds me a whole lot of this next one, which is Philip Plein No Limits. This one, the big difference between the last one I just showed you is this is like a dusty chocolate in the base with leather and with spices. And this one, though, is a powerhouse. This is a 10 or 12 hour fragrance. I'll spray it 4 or 5 times and I'm still smelling it at the end of a work day. You spray it on your clothes, it's going to be there until the next day for sure. But this one has become probably my favorite so far since the weather has turned cold. It is, in my opinion, leather done right. The leather is the dominant note, but with that chocolate note and with the spices in there, it just blends together to be like this warm and spicy kind of engulfing leather fragrance that I think you can't beat it. For about $45, you can get the smaller bottle. It's awesome, and it's the more expensive out of the ones in this video. The last one I'm going to show you, this is a clone of ombre leather, and it is a pretty good clone. I've heard some say that it's an amazing clone. To me, the difference is ombre leather is masterfully blended. This one, to my nose, I was in culinary for years, so my taste and my smell are sometimes freakishly sensitive. And this one, which is Maison Alhambra Amber and Leather, a $15 clone of ombre leather, rather than a very beautifully blended fragrance, I can pick out the different notes that are making this leather accord. I would prefer that it was well blended so that it's just this soft leather masterpiece. But instead, what you get is something very close to ombre leather. But if your smell is overly sensitive, it just feels more, like a bumpy road rather than the smooth ride that you're going to get with ombre leather. So for about $15, Amber and Leather by Maison Alhambra, you've got a pretty good clone of ombre leather. So what I would like to ask in the comments, let me know, have you tried any of these? I would love to know if you own Stronger With You Leather and Oud 24 Hours Majestic Gold. How close are they actually? What is your favorite leather fragrance? Let me know in the comments, and please subscribe to my channel. More of you are subscribing. I really appreciate that, but the overwhelming majority of people who watch are not. So please subscribe, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Thanks so much for joining me.